Hey everybody, and welcome back to Good Morning Gallifrey. Today we have some weird news. Okay, so let me just pull this up real quick so I can show you what I'm talking about. So here we go. Doctor Who boss Chris Chibnall says he planned Jodie Whittaker's Timeless Child twist from the start when taking over the show. Now, obviously, the Timeless Child has been a very controversial plot point over the past year of Doctor Who. Obviously retconning the entire show and all of Classic Who. So here's the thing. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. Chris Chibnall is an interesting showrunner. He's obviously been one of the more controversial we've ever had, I think. Points could be said for both sides, whether you hate him or love him. As for me, I think he's okay. I think it's interesting because this means that there's a very good chance he has a whole plan going into this season of Doctor Who, which is a good thing. I think that's the good side of it. The bad side of it is he has a plan. I don't want him to have a plan. His writing has just been very shaky, and I'm worried about it. But let's read it and we'll go over it. When people were having opinions about the first female Doctor, I thought, well, this is gonna be interesting because we haven't even started yet, said Chris Chibnall. Then he said it was always a plan to do it in the second year, Chris Chibnall said. I knew from the start. The purpose was to bring narrative opportunity and to be able to go places that were shut off before now. That's the big thing, really. So what I think he's trying to say there is that with the Timeless Child, he thinks that there's a lot more opportunities for the future in terms of like where they can go. So it sounds like they're going to be able to go back to Gallifrey history more. So I think that could be fun, in the Time Lord history. It also says here, Chibnall reveals that the Timeless Child storyline was planned before Jodie Whittaker was even announced. That is absolutely ridiculous. Mr. Chibs here, you keep this stuff from us, I see. It says, to see exactly how the Timeless Child story continues, fans will have to be patient. Chibnall told us that we'll have to wait longer to see how it plays out, despite it being briefly touched on in the upcoming Festive special, and overall, it sounds like the arc is only just beginning. But now that we know it actually began a long time ago, we have to wonder, what other secrets has Chibnall been keeping from us all this time? What big twist will await us in the next full Doctor Who series? Somehow we just know it'll feel like a long wait until we find out. Alrighty, so here's the thing with this boy right here. This series has been extremely controversial, and Chris Chibnall has broken the entire show in a lot of people's eyes and made it almost unwatchable, if you ask Harry's Moving Media. But if you ask someone like me or the Confused Adipose, you might, get an answer that is like, you know what? I think this show is going in a good direction. I think these past 2 seasons have definitely opened up a big load of opportunity. The question is, what are they going to do with this opportunity? Because they have so much now. And now it being announced that the Weeping Angels and the Sontarans are coming back. It wasn't announced, but we know what's happening. And now that Jack is back, they've got so much opportunity and potential for great episodes. But it's Chris Chibnall, and I'm worried about that. All right, second little bit of piece of news that came out on Monday is, it says here, Chris Chibnall explains the meaning behind the Festive special title, Revolution of the Daleks. He lifts the lid on it. There's also a really cool picture here of the new Dalek design. I think they look so cool. It looks a little bit like CGI though, which is interesting because they've never been CGI unless they're flying around. All right, so Radio Times says we've always had one burning question. I think there's more than one burning question about this episode. Why is it called that? Chibnall says, I think it has more than one meaning. I think you'll understand once you've seen the episode, obviously. There are loads of different ways you can interpret that title, whether it's a Dalek revolution or whether there's a revolution involving the Daleks. He then goes on to talk about how he thinks that it could be interpreted as a revolution with Ryan and Graham leaving in this special. I think there are things happening within the episode emotionally that will change the dynamics on board the TARDIS too. We're doing everything in there. He also says it has no relation to Revelation of the Daleks, which is not surprising. Okay, so going back here on this one word that I will continue to bring up every single time it gets mentioned. This word right here. Emotional. What I've been saying for a while now, if you've been following my episodes of Good Morning Gallifrey, is that in every single article about this episode, it is always emotional ending, dramatic ending. What is it that Graham said? He said something so stupid about it. I love Graham, but he said something funny. He said it was poignant. So I've made an episode on this before, but Graham Orion is gonna die. They're gonna die. I'm sorry. One of them. I'm gonna drink my eggnog in peace as one of them dies. I think it's kind of obvious in a way at this point that it's not going to be a happy ending. Unless they are just completely, blatantly steering us in the wrong direction, which is, I guess, possible. One of them has to die. That's what has to happen. That is absolutely what has to happen. So that's going to wrap it up for this episode. We went over those two news things. You know, first of all, we had Chris CHIBNALL saying that he's known about Timeless Child since before Jodie was even hired. And he also goes on to say that the meaning behind the episode can be interpreted once you see the episode, and it could mean a lot of different things. So that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about this news. Do you think that Graham or Ryan is going to die in this episode? Do you think that Jack is going to stay? Do you think that the Daleks are revolting against the humans? Do you think that they're fighting each other in a way? Honestly, no idea yet. We'll have to see when the episode comes out. We are 15 or 16 days away now, so that's exciting. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.